Hey guys, it's Ashton, and today I am here with my lover, no, my bestie Matt.
Hello.
So we thought, like, whilst we were together, we'd film a video together, and we decided to do something about revisiting our coming out, like what we would do differently about when we first came out as trans.
Yeah, by the way, disclaimer, I am sick, a sick boy. So
And I still have fake blood on my face.
I sound disgusting.
So disclaimer also.
But yeah, we thought, I was kind of just talking about how if I knew what I knew now, back then when I came out, like in 2012, 2013, there's a lot I do differently.
Completely, I
do it
completely agree.
I do like every single thing differently.
Yeah. So when you came out to parents, would you do that again?
So I came out to my mum in person, which I don't regret, but I wish like I'd been more. I guess it's hard because it's even knowing what I know now, like if I'd put myself back in this situation, it'd still be like a scary situation to be in. But I did the thing where I came out as like genderqueer, as like a stepping stone, and then came out as like I phased in. And I kind of like talked about gender a lot with her, which actually I do think is a good thing. Like I think it was useful to introduce the conversation to her. But then I kind of just wished like I'd said it as it was and like owned it more, because I feel like I was quite awkward and shy about it. And then it kind of made it difficult for her to ask questions. Like she felt awkward about asking questions. And then with my dad, he found out through my mum, and I really like. He phoned me and asked me, "Oh, so you want to be a boy then? Or you're trans then?" And I was like,
yeah.
Like,
By the way,
yeah, like me and my dad were never close, but I wish that like I could have told him myself. Even though that would have like been scary, it probably wouldn't have gone well. Like I wish I'd done it myself. What about you?
So I came out a letter, and I just went downstairs to them, and I was like, "Here's a letter, read it, come speak to me." And at the time I was so awkward, I don't think I physically could have got across everything I wanted to say in person. And I feel like I wouldn't change coming out through a letter. I'd still have that letter and I'd still come out to them like that. But I feel like once I did come downstairs and they read the letter and they were like asking me questions, I feel like I would be more open, because I was still at that stage where I concealed this for so long that even just someone knowing completely freaked me out. And like I was still really,
it's like
I had a guard up. I had a guard up. I gave them breathing space kind of thing, and like they were all for it at first. They were like, "Oh yeah, we'll change your name to Ash in our phones, blah blah blah." But then a couple of weeks later, it's like they almost forgot about it, and I didn't bring it back up. Like they knew, but I wasn't kind of enforcing that that was the way I felt.
And then what about with your friends? Like, did they take it well?
I would completely do coming out to my friends again, like without a shadow of a doubt. I came out to one friend before I came out to my parents, and oh my god, it was the time of Ask FM. And I posted on her like, "Ask FM, what are your opinion on trans people, and what would you do if your friend told you they were trans?" Hint, nudge, nudge.
Not sort of.
And like her answer was like, "Oh yeah, I'd support them 100%. You wouldn't be a true friend if you didn't. Like, I would 100% support my friend if they came to me like that." Cute. And I was like, "I'm gonna tell you."
That's
so,
cute,
but I couldn't even say it. I was like, "Look, you Ask FM," and I'm like, "That's me." And then like we just kind of awkwardly spoke about it. But then this was in like September of 2012, and then I didn't actually come out to my group of friends from school until June 2013, and that was a long time. Like they already knew from my other friend, but I just didn't tell them. I told them in the group mail after a lot of things kicked off in school, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, by the way, this blah blah blah." But I wish I told them a lot sooner, because I knew they would have been supportive, but it was the fact that I felt so vulnerable, all these people knowing.
It's like, because you kind of have to tell everyone at once as well, like you kind of can't tell one friend and not another, because then they're like...
I knew they already knew, but I was still so thing about saying it, and I wish I told them all when I told the first person, because it kind of would have made my parents more, like, understand that this was a thing, like, this wasn't going away. What about you with your friends? What would you change?
The thing is, like I said earlier, I did the whole like genderqueer thing. So I kind of told all of my friends online, which I wish I had. But like, the thing is, like, me and my friends were like obviously good friends, but it's like so uncomfortable, and I think it's like that fear of their response. I think the biggest thing that I've learnt with being trans when you're coming out is that the more you own it and the more you're confident with it and the less you're phased by it,
literally.
like the less people give a shit. Like if you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm trans," like I just prefer if you want, like if you'd refer to me as male and call me this, I'd appreciate that. cool. Because when I came up to my friends, like I did it all online, and I was like so awkward. And then this was a time when like drinking was starting, so I remember going to like a party, and I was just like bawling my eyes out, and I was like,
We've all done
like,
that.
I was like, I'm trans, like making such a big deal about it, like such a baby. And then I don't know, like at the time it felt like the biggest thing in the world, and it kind of like obviously it was an important moment.
At the time, it was the biggest thing in the world, and I know it's all right for us to look back now and be like, oh, I would have done this, I would have done this differently.
But it's like when you're in that situation,
we were in such a complete different headspace to that time.
Yeah.
And it's all well in us now, like, oh, I'm this many years on T, I'm this year post-top surgery, I come out again, no problem. And it's like, at the time, it was so hard. It was like the biggest thing I think I've ever had to do. What about school? Like, would you change that?
Yes. I told all my friends, and then I'd ask my friends to call me Matt and he, and then they would, and then like it's kind of something that in school it gets spread, whether it's spread nicely or it's spread not, like it's news. And especially like back when I came out, didn't know
we sound so back in the day when we came out.
No, there was like, I didn't know any trans people. Like there's no trans people in my school. I didn't know any trans people. Like
I was the first trans person in my school.
Yeah, legit same. Like it was so unheard of that people were kind of like, oh my, like that's a thing. Like I think people knew that trans women existed, but not
trans men.
Yeah, so
They exist.
so it was like a really weird situation to be in, because I'd have people calling me Matt, and literally people being like, why did he just call you Matt? Or like, why is he calling you a boy, or why is he saying he? And I'd be so uncomfortable that I couldn't.
You didn't want to explain yourself.
I couldn't physically have the conversation. I would just walk away.
Yeah.
Like I'd just either walk out the class, or just like walk down the corridor, or just pretend I hadn't hurt, like blank someone in real life.
Yeah.
And it'd just be so uncomfortable. So I wish I'd like told everyone at once and just like cleared the air and be like, have everyone hear it from me in the same like argument. I wish I'd told all of my teachers at the same time that I told my friends and everyone else, because there was a point where like everyone was calling me Matt except my teachers, but like people, like they were clocking on as well. What about you?
During middle of year 10, my parents had a meeting with my head of year and was like, yeah, Ash is trans, blah 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 blah, just filling her in because of a situation of not doing PE. So that was resolved. So my head of year knew, and like the head teacher and her like senior team knew, and I was okay with that. Like I didn't want anybody else to know. And when it all did escalate, and it was like, I need to go back to school as Ashton, like I need to be me, like. And so my parents had a meeting with like the school, like my head of year mainly, and was like, Ashton wants to go back as Ashton and as he, and blah blah blah. So I went back in September, well, officially male. I was male anyway, but my head of year told all my teachers in the teacher like meetings they have
I had that
before
as well,
the kids go
but
back
it just
to school.
It didn't happen.
So she was like, so when they like, oh yeah, so and so's mother's died this year, something else has happened to this kid, and then it's like, oh, Ashton is now Ashton, and he is now he. So, and everybody was just like,
okay.
yeah, and like, I wouldn't change that part. I would wish I did it earlier and I didn't wait for the new school year. Because I came out to everybody like on Facebook just before I went back to school, so everybody could like ease it back in.
That's like a really good point as well. I feel like it's nice to tell the people that you're close to in person, but social media,
you can't tell
like
everybody in person. It's physically impossible.
Is a good thing for like spreading the word easily, and I feel like the easiest way to do it is like either make a new account or like change your name on your old account. And people,
yeah, I just changed the name on my old account and I went through and hid all my old pictures, and it's the same account. Like
thing is, I had like 2 accounts, so I had like, and I wish I'd like posted on my old account like, here's a link to my new account. Like, this is what like how I'm gonna go by from now on. But I just like left people hanging, and people were like, is that your brother? Like, who is that? And it was very uncomfortable.
But with like when I came out in school to like everyone, but I also wish that when I did go back to school and everybody knew that when people messed up my name or pronouns, that I went a bit more full on. Like I give people a couple of weeks to get used to it, because you go like, it's hard straight away. It's not the fact that, it's like my dad's literally said this to me, it's like, it's not the fact that they see you as a she, it's the habit. They're always used to saying she, they don't see you as a she. And like I understood that, so I gave my teachers like a couple of weeks to get their head around it, and most people did quite fast. But then I still have the odd teacher who was like she and blah blah blah, and like my name wasn't legally changed for a bit, and my birth name would be on the registers, and that's where they would screw up the most. And my biology teacher would do it every time, and then at a certain point, I think it was like a month after I started back at school, if someone would say my birth name on the register, I wouldn't answer.
I used to do that. I used to ignore it.
And then they'd be like, they know I was there, and then they'd be like, oh, Ash or Ashton, and I'm like, I am here, bitches.
I wish I just got my haircut how I wanted my haircut, instead of trying to like please people by like phasing it. Like I ended up with a bob.
A bob? What's freaking?
So do you remember like the first day that you went into school after you cut your hair? I think I was
oh my God,
debating pulling a sickie. I was literally myself.
I was shitting myself.
I used to get the bus to school. I was like walking to the bus stop. I was like, I stood at the bus stop and the bus was coming. Obviously there was like loads of people already at the bus stop, and they were like, yeah, I don't know. Like I got really good like reactions getting a haircut. I feel like people knew why I got a haircut, but I was just like, I wish I'd got it cut how I wanted it.
See,
cut.
like I donated my hair to like a cancer charity, and I was like, and everybody's like, why are you cutting your hair? And I was like, oh, I'm donating it to a cancer charity. That wasn't my main reason, but it's something I did actually do. So please don't hate me for that. But the first day I went into school with my haircut, it was like from one extreme to the other. Like I had this like blonde Justin Bieber mop. It was like bleach blonde, never again. Sorry. And everybody was like looking at me, and I was like, I don't care. I have short hair. But then like some teachers were just looking at me. But then, best cover up ever, the next day at school I broke my ankle, so the next day I came in, I had a cast on my leg, and everybody was more concerned about the cast on my leg than my hair. Oh my
God, you were like proper Justin Bieber when he broke his leg dancing.
I fell down the stairs in school.
Not quite as cool. What's your biggest advice for coming out?
Own it, like Matt said.
Be yourself.
Yeah, you be you, boo. But if you come across as like, my name is Ashton, when I'm a boy, you will freaking call me that. Like, it's a bit different. So, but I feel like, come out in your own time. Don't feel like you're forced to come out. Do what was right for you in that time. Like, fair enough, like we're saying now what we would have done in hindsight. But at that time, that was the best thing for us.
A mess when I was like 15. I was very angsty, very awkward, and
welcome to trans teens.
Yeah, no, literally. So I don't feel like I would have been able to do what I'm saying.
Yeah, not me. Also, when you come out, don't go by someone else's timeline. Like, don't feel like, say like with my parents, they like asked me not to tell anybody for a bit, and I regret doing that. Like, you come out when you want to come out. At the end of the day, it's your thing to come out as. Like, this is your identity. Like, if you feel like you want to tell that person, you tell them.
I feel like it's so different for people now though, because like schools and people just in general like know of trans people, and I know trans people.
And when we came out, and 2012 wasn't that long ago. It was like 6 years ago. Oh my God. But it still was a complete different time to what it is now, as in the awareness and the media of trans people. So I think that wraps up the video, but we hope you found that kind of insightful on what I'm 20, Matt's 21, and what we would change about our teenage coming out.
Basically everything.
Yes.
I wish I came out when I was 3.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I will see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.
So in that video I just said that imagine being like misgendered now and how that would make you feel, and he was like, well, it wouldn't happen. Opens Grindr, opens first new message. Hello cute girl.